I thought herb oil was pretty straightforward. Ever since I started trying to build a tasting menu at home, it's one of those techniques that just kept showing up over and over again. You blanch some herbs, you blend them in oil, strain, and you get this just beautifully vibrant green oil. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized there are a surprising number of ways people make herb oil. Some people blanch the herbs, some blend until the blender heats everything up, and some heat the oil first. So I want to see what actually changes between these methods.
For this first experiment, I really wanted a baseline. So this is just raw parsley blended in oil. It's not heated to any specific temperature. The two things I'm really going to be comparing across all these experiments are going to be color and taste.
It's almost like a little bit grassy, like just that uncooked parsley you can really taste.
The surprising thing here was that visually the color of this was far better than what I had achieved in a previous test. Next, I wanted to test that kind of traditional blanching method. The one that I had originally stumbled upon while trying to recreate recipes from the French laundry cookbook. And honestly, this was the method that I expected to produce like the brightest oil. But once everything was side by side, this actually ended up being lighter than the raw version.
Yeah, the blanched is a lot smoother and it's got that like cleaner, more vibrant parsley taste. Like it doesn't have that raw bite to it.
One of the most common suggestions I kept on seeing was that if you blend the herbs long enough, the blender itself creates enough heat to achieve similar results to the blanching, except you're not introducing extra water. Now, the challenge that I ran into when making this herb oil was I just had to constantly be checking and rechecking the temperature to make sure I wasn't going too hot, and it kind of ended up taking a lot longer than I anticipated. I really had to let this blender run for quite a while before I got to that temp.
Now, I think this is the challenge I have with the heat in the blender is it still has that like almost raw taste to the parsley oil. Like not as strong as the completely raw oil, but it's still there. It's still noticeable.
This next experiment, I think, was probably the second most suggested, and that was using a Thermomix. For this next experiment, I really wanted to keep the same ratio of parsley to oil as all the other experiments, and I kind of expected here that the parsley wouldn't really fit into the amount of oil that I was using, but for the sake of the experiment, I wanted to give it a shot. And this is where I started to realize that I don't think this experiment is so much about the color of the oil as much as it is about the taste.
This one has a cooked taste. I don't know how to describe it, like an oily parsley taste. Like it's not quite as fresh as the blanched. Man, that's almost the most subtle. It's like you just get like the back notes of the parsley.
So for the next test, we're doing a blend parsley, then heat. When I started on this journey of trying to build a tasting menu at home, I thought I was learning like the right way to do things. But experiments like this have been a really good reminder that a lot of cooking isn't about finding like the one correct answer. I think it's more about understanding what changes when you make a different choice.
This is where it starts to throw me a little. All of these taste different. So the blend then heat almost has like a cooked parsley to it. Almost tastes like you took some parsley, deep fried it, and you're just eating the deep fried parsley.
Going into this, I was really convinced that the color would really be the whole story. But once I saw the oils side by side, the visual differences were a lot smaller than I expected. I thought this video was going to be about which herb oil looked the best, but it really ended up being an experiment in how differently they all tasted.